The world paused in awe as white smoke rose from the Vatican. It was a sign known for centuries, the sign that a new pope had been chosen. Silence filled the air in St. Peter's Square as millions of eyes looked up. The moment felt holy, timeless, and full of meaning. The crowd waited to hear the name. When it came, it shook the world. The new leader of the Catholic Church was Cardinal Tagle, now known as Pope Louis I. He was the first pope from Asia. He was a son of the Philippines, and in that moment, history changed forever. People around the world felt the power of this moment. It was not just a change in leadership, it was a new chapter for the Catholic Church. For the first time, the East had a voice at the very top. For the first time, someone who knew poverty and struggle, someone who had grown up in a simple home, had reached the highest role in the Church. It showed that faith knows no borders. It was a bold step forward, a sign that the Church was becoming more global and more inclusive. As the white smoke faded into the blue Roman sky, it left behind a feeling of hope. From the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Louis I stepped out with open arms. His smile was full of warmth. His eyes held peace. He looked not like a man of power, but like a man of love. In fluent Italian, he spoke with gentle grace. His words carried a promise of connection. He spoke not only to the people in the square, but to the whole world. It was clear that this new pope was not here to rule with fear or pride. He was here to walk with the people. Pope Louis I's path to the papacy was shaped by faith and humility. He was born in the Philippines and raised in a modest home. From a young age, he learned the value of kindness, strength, and community. These values stayed with him as he rose through the ranks of the Church. He was not known for seeking power, but for serving others. His life story is one of quiet leadership. It shows how love for God and for people can overcome even the hardest challenges. As a priest and later Archbishop of Manila, he became a beloved figure. People called him Cheto, a nickname that showed how close he was to them. He was known for his hearty laugh, gentle nature, and deep care for everyone he met. His sermons touched hearts. He did not speak in hard-to-understand language. He used simple words full of hope. He talked about forgiveness, love, and God's grace. In a country facing poverty and inequality, his words gave comfort. But more than that, he inspired action. He told people to stick together, to lift each other up, and to keep their faith even in hard times. When he was called to serve in the Vatican, he carried those same values with him. There, he took on the mission of spreading faith across the world. He reached out across cultures and languages. He always promoted unity and inclusion. For him, faith was not just about rules or buildings. It was about people. He believed that every person mattered, no matter where they came from. His work in the Vatican showed the world that faith can cross any boundary. His election as Pope Louis XI was more than just a change in tradition. It broke a centuries-old pattern where most popes came from Europe. His rise brought attention to Asia's growing spiritual energy. It gave hope to millions who had never before seen someone like themselves in such a high position. Pope Louis I understood the struggles of ordinary people. He had walked with the poor, visited the sick, and comforted those in pain. His election was proof that the Church's message belongs to everyone. The celebration in the Philippines was unforgettable. Across the country, people filled churches with prayer and song. In cities and small villages, there were parades and dances. Some cried tears of joy, others simply smiled in disbelief. It was a proud moment for the Filipino people. Their son, their beloved cardinal, was now pope. The deep faith that lives in the islands of the Philippines was now shining on the world stage. For days, the country was filled with energy, joy, and gratitude. But the excitement didn't stop there. News of Pope Louis I's election traveled across Asia. In South Korea, India, Indonesia, and Vietnam, people felt pride and hope. Many in the region saw in him a guide, someone who understood their culture, their values, and their challenges. In a fast-changing world, an Asian pope felt like a light in the darkness. He reminded people that faith still matters, even in the middle of modern life. His voice became a source of strength and peace. As Pope Louis I began his leadership, he focused on the simple truths that had guided him all his life. He didn't try to impress the world with grand speeches or big promises. Instead, he chose to serve with love and humility. He visited poor neighborhoods, refugee camps, and forgotten corners of the world. He reached out to people who had lost faith, who had felt left behind. He reminded everyone that they were not alone. His message was always clear: care for one. Another, help those in need and live with kindness. Leaders around the world respected him not only for his position, but for his heart. Religious leaders, political figures, and everyday people praised him as someone who could bring others together. In a world full of division, Pope Louis XI stood as a bridge. He showed that it was still possible to find unity, even among great differences. His ability to connect with people of all backgrounds made him a true global leader. One of the causes close to Pope Louis X's heart was justice. He never stopped speaking up for the poor and the forgotten, but he didn't just speak, he acted. He pushed for real help for those in need. He called on the world to take care of the planet, reminding everyone that we are all connected. His message reached people who were looking for real leadership, not just in the church, but in life. His simple message touched many. Take care of the earth, take care of each other. He believed that the church should not stay behind walls. He dreamed of a church that walks into the streets, that reaches out to those who feel lost. For him, being Pope was not about sitting on a throne, it was about standing beside people in their pain. He believed the church should be a place of welcome for all. He met with leaders from other religions and worked to build peace between faiths. He believed in listening, learning, and respecting others. His legacy is one of hope. He showed the world that true leadership is not about power, but about love. He reminded people that the church is not just old buildings and old traditions. It is alive. It is about service. It is about helping those who are hurting. His words and his actions touched millions. His kindness reminded the world that even small acts can change lives. Even as time goes on, Pope Louis XI continues to inspire. His journey from a humble Filipino home to the highest role in the church gives hope to people everywhere. He showed that no matter where you start in life, you can rise through love, faith, and service. He proved that anyone, no matter how ordinary, can become a light for the world. In every visit, every prayer, and every smile, Pope Louis XIV shows what it means to be a true servant of God. His focus on peace, care for the poor, and unity across the world makes him more than just a leader. He is a symbol of what the world can become, a world led by kindness and shaped by faith. As Pope Louis XIV continues his journey, the world watches with hope. His story is not just about religion, it's about humanity. It's about what we can all be when we lead with love. He reminds us that our faith can be stronger than our fear, and our unity can be more powerful than our divisions. In him we see a leader for today, a leader who brings the world closer through simple truths and a big heart. He dreams of a church that listens, welcomes, and serves. He wants a church that stands with the poor, lifts up the broken, and brings comfort to the lost. He believes in a faith that moves, that reaches out, and that gives back. His legacy, still unfolding, is one of humility, healing, and deep human love. In a world that often feels divided and confused, Pope Louis XI stands as a quiet strength. His voice is soft but full of truth. His hands reach out in peace, and his heart beats with hope for all of us. Through him, we are reminded that the power of faith lies not in fear or control, but in love, service, and the courage to care. To care.